suffer a fool. I can hardly believe someone as wise as you could suffer a fool like me. Suffer a fool. I can hardly believe someone as wise as you could suffer a fool like me. You've seen me stumble, and you've seen me fall. You have seen me.
Hello and welcome to day 9 in our series Solace for the Struggling. The ideas, information and questions presented in this series have been primarily drawn from the book of Proverbs and the work of the Christian psychologist Dr. Henry Cloud in his video 10 Tips for Navigating Hard Times. Would you describe yourself as an animal lover? I imagine that some of you would. Some of you may be pet owners. Perhaps even some of you have worked on a farm at some point in your life with working animals. Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 10 states this: "The righteous care for the needs of their animals." We all know that in order to survive and thrive, there are certain things that creatures need. Animals require nutrition, water, oxygen, and a suitable habitat. And alongside all these things, they also require rest. An interesting and often overlooked feature of the 4th of the 10 Commandments regarding the Sabbath is that animals are also mentioned in it. It states, "Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labour and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or daughter, nor your male or female servant, nor your animals." In this passage, animals are considered as required to take the rest and renewal that comes with taking a Sabbath. And it is absolutely right that people take good care of their animals, including giving them the necessary amount of rest. But I have occasionally wondered if there are people who take better care than their animals than they do themselves. For people need to have a proper rest. Not only was the Sabbath an opportunity for that, but the numerous Jewish festivals that made up part of the year were also opportunities for a meaningful break. During these festivals, people were not required to work. Festivals were significant occasions for worship and remembrance of important milestones, and whilst they were communal events, they were not work days. They were, if you like, our equivalent of a bank holiday. The Israelites were commanded to refrain from customary work on these days, which included the Sabbath and other special days. In his video, Top Tips for Navigating Tough Times, Dr. Henry Cloud asks the following questions. Have you been going too long for too long? We get in this habit of just going. Do you take a Sabbath? The designer of life built into your system rhythms. For every 6 days of work, you should have one of rest where you don't do any work. We all know that it is possible for a car owner to run that car into the ground. We all know that it would be possible for the owner of working farm animals to mistreat them by overworking them. We all know that it is possible for human beings to push themselves beyond what is reasonable or healthy. And I appreciate that for many people watching this, it might not be an easy thing to do. But if that has been you, you push yourself too hard and too long, and you do not build in the necessary breaks, and you are suffering as a result, perhaps you could take this opportunity, having listened to this today, to plan for yourself a proper break.
You've seen me stumble, and you've seen me fall. You have seen me on my knees, and you have heard me call. I've seen you patient, and I've seen you kind. I have seen you making sure I was not left behind. Suffer a fool, I can hardly believe someone as wise as you could suffer a fool like me. Suffer a fool, I can hardly believe someone as wise as you could suffer a fool like me. I'm fast to anger, and I'm quick to judge, and I will point a finger, and I will hold a grudge. You've seen my shadows, the places where I hide, and you are always waiting for me on the other side. Suffer a fool, I can hardly believe someone as wise as you could suffer a fool like me. Suffer a fool, I can hardly believe someone as wise as you could suffer a fool like me. Suffer a fool, I can hardly believe someone as wise as you could suffer a fool like me.